Good evening from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Monday, October the 25th market update. On the economic front, the U.S. existing home sales for September were up 10%. On deck for tomorrow is the monthly S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index. That is at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and we'll also get the monthly consumer confidence number at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. The dollar was down, so of course gold, silver, copper, and oil were all up. Light sweet crude futures were up 83 cents to settle at $82.52 a barrel. Looking at the dollar, via the UUP, it did come off its lows, and the market weakened a little bit, towards the close. But we'll see. And I've talked about this before. Just quickly look at the weekly. That if you look at the weekly, this goes back to '08. It's a possible the dollar could be. It's probably going to depend on quantity of easing and if they do it, how much, all that. So I don't know. Bottom could be near bottom or not. Don't know yet, but there's definitely been some buying here. Let's go over and take a look at the West Texas Intermediate Crude Point and Figure chart. So we are on a sell signal for 75. Of course, that can easily be reversed and taken out. So you see these boxes here of X's. So because of the buying price volume here, so we won't go back on a buy signal on crude unless we print this 85. We need to print one box higher than the previous box of X's. So and that would put us back on a buy signal on crude. So let's go take a look at some indices here. So the Russell actually had the larger percent gain today. It was up 0.63%, and the S&P was the weakest, but of course it was still up 0.21%. And the market's pulled quite a ways back here, as you can see, shooting star type doji. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, but it's still strong. It just I think everybody's getting a little nervous. We're up here at these highs and little nervousness, but we still close positive, so we'll see what tomorrow brings. But so far, so good. SPX, same thing. So and these can be valid signals up here when you're at the highs. So we'll see what happens, or maybe we'll just take it out. But we didn't even quite make it to the 1200 mark, and we closed pretty much right on the resistance of 1185 on the S&P. And Nasdaq, same thing. Very all similar here. Had a nice day, so maybe we'll get a little pullback, or maybe they'll just scare everyone out of the market and then we'll go higher. That's pretty much what happened here. What was it? One time last week here, or 2 weeks ago. So let's see here. Let's look at gold. Gold, no buying here. It's obviously bounced off here and going up, and but there's no buying. A lot of selling was going on, not much buying. So need to continue to watch the. Let's see. All right. So as I was saying, we need to continue to watch the currencies here. Silver, same way. Lots of selling. And there wasn't a whole lot of buying here off this little bounce, even though it went higher. Copper. Same here with copper. Here's all this selling. Not much interest in buying up here. VIX. We actually did have a pop in the VIX, up 5.7%. Of course, it wasn't a huge move here. We'll see where we go from here, but we did have a little bit of a pop. And the euro definitely closed closer to its low than to the high, but it's still hanging out up here. It's had quite a run. Let's see what else. Let's look at the home builders. XHB, we got this resistance at around the 16 level. Looks like we're going to take it out, and then again we had this kind of shooting star doji. I don't know if you can see it very well, but on it as well, that pulled back. And then on the financials kind of in this little pennant. There's no selling here on the financials though, so I'm continue to watch them. And eventually they're gonna bottom. I just don't know when, but there's no selling here, even though we had quite a pullback here, only 0.35%. But candle in. Let's go take a look at the McClellan oscillator. Looking at the overbought, oversold. And of course, we're still in this neutral territory. And like I said, I don't think this has been real valuable as of late to look at. Let's take a look at the sectors. So 12 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. The gold index had a large percent gain, up 1.33%, and the bank index was the weakest, down 1.04%. Over to ChartWatch. Start out with CNQR. Broke above the midpoint of that large bearish candle. This large bearish candle here with volume. It looks decent here, so keep an eye on that one. LRCX, Lam Research. This thing's been consolidating for quite some time, and as you can see, so it should eventually get up here to about 50, which isn't that far away, but it's had a nice consolidation. Of course, we had the earnings, huge buying here, so that one definitely looks good. C-Trip, lots of China stocks breaking higher today. NTES, Sienna, non-China. RIM had a big breakout today above the downtrend line with volume. IRBT, another one breaking out. Its little triangle. A1, nice breakout of its triangle today. MELI, it actually broke above the downtrend line. I talked about this before, and it had a nice today. It's got going to have resistance up here, but still looks very good. TJX breaking out, going higher. EDU, another China stock, and looks like it has a nice little head and shoulders bottom here. Lots of volume coming in. It's already post earnings. May fill this gap, which is going to be quite a fill. SHW, Sherwin-Williams, another one breaking out. Looks good. Of course, you're going to have resistance up there about 76 or so. And remember, some of these have earnings. They might even be tomorrow, so be sure and look at these. Do your homework too. Just I point out the pattern or something I'm seeing. You still need to look at it. So SRX, another one, and this one has the 200-day moving average above it at 2039, but it did have nice volume on this little breakout today. PNC, this one pulled back 1.32% today, but I had nice buying on the earnings. Went higher, and there was no selling on the sell side today for the volume, so I think it's still worth watching if these ever do get a pop. Same with Wells Fargo, no selling volume, even though it did break back down a little bit, down 1.49%. Noble, like this ascending triangle, looks good. CPHD breaking higher. Of course, this is after earnings, had a huge move here, and let's look here. So it does have resistance up here at 21. But took quite a while to to build this out here, so keep an eye on it. Maybe any pullback. First Systems, another one has broken out here into last week on earnings above the downtrend line, and no selling here, and so it looks fine here as long as it holds about 26.50 or so. Should be good to go. Nuva, talked about this one, little inverted head and shoulders, got about a 40 target on that. It looks good still. Blue Coat Systems, another one it's got a rising wedge, but also you could say there's a little inverted head and shoulders here. But it did break a little higher today, and it looks like it wants to go higher. And a lot of the stuff kind of pulled back towards the end of the day, as did the market. So SVR still channeling, still looks interesting. Keep an eye on it for breakout. DCTH, watch this one as long as it holds that uptrend line. Looks like it's positioning itself for a breakout. Auto Nation looks like it wants to break out of that above the downtrend line. American Axle broke out today. Some coal. PCX, like this, volume kicking in today. Looks like it wants to. It had a huge move right at 5.85% for a small stock, but you can go much higher. So watch for a break higher over today's high. ANR got a nice little pennant. Then some retail. Deck breaking out above the downtrend line. Like this, has a nice little cup and handle pattern here. Like it. Shoe, another retailer. Tried to break out higher, and of course pulled back because the market pulled back, but it's worth keeping an eye on. So that is all I have for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with you tomorrow.